You know that feeling, right? That pit in your stomach when someone else gets the promotion or you're scrolling through those perfect vacation photos online.
Hmm.
We've all been there. That pang of comparison, maybe even, yeah, jealousy. But what if it's not really about character? What if it's biology?
Right.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into the fascinating biology of jealousy. We want to explore the brain circuits, the ancient wiring that kicks in when others seem to get ahead.
And how knowing that can actually change how we handle it.
Exactly. So let's unpack this. We feel that pang, okay, but what's really going on inside our heads, deep
Well,
down?
it's quite a dance in there. It's not just one thing. You've got your amygdala. Think of it like the brain's first responder.
Okay.
It fires off really quickly when it senses someone else gaining an advantage, something you might want.
Uh,
And then here's the really interesting part. Your anterior cingulate cortex that's involved in social comparison, it actually uses the same neural pathways that register physical pain.
Wait, physical pain, like stubbing your toe?
Pretty much, yeah. So that little twinge you feel when your colleague gets praise, your brain is literally signaling, ouch.
Wow.
And then the hypothalamus jumps in, it gets that signal, and basically orchestrates this whole body stress response.
Stress response, like,
Yeah, releasing hormones like cortisol, norepinephrine. It's your body's old school competition mode kicking in,
hmm.
designed for, ancient survival threats, but now triggered by a LinkedIn update.
Okay, so it's not just uncomfortable, it's actually registered as pain. That explains why it feels so jarring. But
Right.
if it feels bad, why do we sometimes get drawn to it? Like, why keep checking that successful person's profile?
Ah, yeah, that's the paradox, isn't it? That's where the brain's reward system comes in, specifically the nucleus accumbens and dopamine.
Dopamine, isn't that the pleasure chemical?
It is, but it's complicated. When you see others getting what you desire, your dopamine levels fluctuate in a weird way. It
Yeah.
creates this state that's, well, both painful and weirdly compelling.
Huh. Compelling.
Yeah, it helps explain that kind of compulsive checking, the digital doom scrolling, or even driving past the neighbor's fancy new car again.
Right.
And brain scans actually show this kind of professional or social jealousy lights up areas similar to like physical cravings, addiction almost.
Mhm.
And another part, the posterior superior temporal sulcus, gets hyperactive, constantly analyzing where you stand compared to others.
Okay, so the brain's response is immediate, complex, involves pain and reward circuits. But like you said, not everyone reacts the same way. Why do some of us feel this stuff more intensely?
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely variability. A lot comes down to our individual genetic makeup and personality traits.
Genes. How so?
Well, there are specific genes, like ones involved in how our brain handles serotonin or oxytocin, the
Hmm.
mood and bonding chemicals. Slight variations in those can make someone more sensitive to social hierarchies or seeing others get ahead.
Interesting.
And personality plays a big role, too. Someone high in eroticism, for instance, tends to experience these comparative feelings more often, more intensely.
But
Even perfectionists, they sometimes have specific gene variations, like in the COMT gene, and they might feel this really strong, achievement-focused jealousy. It can drive them, sure, but it's also really exhausting.
a double-edged sword.
Totally. And it gets even more layered. Early life experiences, like maybe not getting consistent validation as a kid, can actually change how those genes are expressed later on. Epigenetics.
Wow. So experiences can literally change our biology for this.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
It can make someone more prone to these feelings in adulthood, but the key thing is these are natural biological variations, not character defects.
That's a really powerful way to frame it. Okay, so if this is ancient biology, how does our modern world, hyper connected, always online, how does that mess with these circuits? Does social media just pour gasoline on the fire?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
Neuroscientists talk about comparison overload.
Hmm.
Our brains evolved for small tribes, maybe 150 people max.
Right, not thousands online.
Exactly. Social media, with its curated highlight reels, just sends that anterior cingulate cortex, the pain comparison center, into overdrive. Studies show even brief scrolling can trigger intense responses in the amygdala and insula, leading to chronically high cortisol.
Chronic stress from just
And
scrolling.
it sounds extreme, but yeah. And it's not just a few susceptible people. This affects almost everyone to some degree.
And I guess our culture shapes this too, individualism versus collectivism.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Brain activity differs. In more individualistic cultures, you see more self-focused brain regions light up during comparison. In collectivist ones, it might be more about group harmony circuits. And think about the modern workplace. So much transparency now, salaries, performance
Oh
metrics.
yeah, new triggers everywhere.
Exactly. It constantly pokes at our reward and fairness circuits. And here's maybe the most intriguing bit. This chronic digital exposure might be literally rewiring our brains over time.
Rewiring. How?
By constantly activating those comparison and jealousy pathways, we might actually be strengthening them,
Mm.
creating this feedback loop that just makes our natural tendency for social comparison even more intense.
Okay, so wrapping this up. The big takeaway seems to be maybe liberating. These feelings, comparison, jealousy, they aren't you being a bad person.
Not at all.
They're just ancient biological patterns, programs running that evolved over millions of years.
Exactly. It's your neural architecture doing what it was designed to do for survival back then. And honestly, just understanding that, understanding the biology, can bring so much self-compassion.
Right. Instead of judging yourself when you feel that pang.
You can just notice it. Ah, there's that ancient survival circuit kicking in. It creates a bit of distance, a moment of awareness instead of judgment.
And knowing the biology behind these really universal feelings, that feels like the first real step to managing them better, doesn't it? Moving from judging ourselves to just being aware. And maybe feeling less alone in it all.
Precisely. From isolation to connection, knowing we all share this basic wiring.